coupled with news today that U.S. factory orders dipped in August, convincing a lot of traders that the Federal Reserve will now delay hiking rates at least until March. With that, the Dow snapped back from an early 250-point loss, ending the day 200 points higher. The Nasdaq up by 80, and oil gained 80 cents a barrel, lifting energy stocks today. Discount brokerage Scottrade, the latest victim of a cyber attack. Data on 4.6 million clients was stolen over the last 2 years. And Samsung says it'll use Qualcomm's Snapdragon computer chips in its upcoming smartphone instead of its own. Tom Busby, CNBC.
Ringing in the ears, all-natural ring relief helps. Our customers tell the story.
Peter C. says, "This is the first thank you I have ever written to a company. Your ring relief product has greatly reduced my tinnitus. Thank you for the good night's sleep."
James H. wrote, "This is the first time I've been free of ear ringing in over a year."
These are unsolicited testimonials from our customers. No gimmicks. If you suffer from tinnitus, join the thousands who found relief with all-natural ring relief.
Ring relief is available at Kroger, CVS, Rite Aid, Walgreens, and Walmart. Or go to ringrelief.com for ring relief eardrops.
If you feel like online dating just won't work for you, try EH Plus. EH Plus is a new personal matchmaking service by eHarmony, and it far exceeds what regular online dating sites can do. One-on-one attention from a PhD matchmaker, amazing singles, and guaranteed introductions we know are perfect for you. Visit us today at ehplus.com/love or call 1-855-940-LOVE.
This is KCAA.
Slam the door on FeePay. Forget everything you know about selling online because I'm here to tell you about a new and revolutionary way to buy and sell on the internet. BuySellMakeOffer.com is here to shake up the web. Tired of paying those outrageous fees? You'll never pay a fee with BuySellMakeOffer.com. For a monthly membership package starting at only $7.95, you can list and sell up to 50 items. That would cost you nearly $100 with the other guys. Go right now to BuySellMakeOffer.com and sign up today.
Leading with over 500,000 searches, the suspense ended this week over the $310 million Powerball jackpot. The ticket was sold at a gas station in southwestern Michigan. The Michigan Lottery says this was the second largest jackpot this year. Also trending with over 500,000 searches, Google has announced not one, but two Nexus smartphones. Nexus 5X and Nexus 6P. Consumers on social media say they are thrilled to have learned from Google that both phones will charge more than twice as quickly as the new iPhones. How about those apples? And you may see many people wearing pink this month in support of breast cancer awareness. October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. The month is set aside to increase knowledge and awareness for the disease. This had over 50,000 searches. I'm Successful Brim with what's trending this week on KCAA 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Join KCAA Radio and the Savasito Sunday Squad for the second annual Trunk or Treat Sunday, November 1st at the Carousel Mall from 5 till 9. It's an extra day of trick-or-treating for the kids in a safe environment. All car clubs are invited to bring candy and to participate in the car decorating contest. There will also be a costume contest for all age groups. Tell your friends and make plans for the second annual Trunk or Treat at the Carousel Mall Sunday, November 1st, 5 till 9, sponsored in part by KCAA.
What have I learned so far? I've learned that dropping out of high school was my decision. But as a single mom, that decision affected more than just me. To set an example, I had to be the example. I found a free high school diploma program at Learn for Life that fits around my busy life. I have a team of teachers, tutors, and counselors that really care. I learn at my pace in an environment that is safe and comfortable. What have I learned so far? I've learned that I can change my life.
Are you 14 to 19 years old and looking for a free high school diploma program with flexible meeting times? This program allows you to keep your job or important family responsibilities while earning your high school diploma. If you've fallen behind on credits or dropped out of school completely, get back on track with free tutoring, a caring faculty, and one-on-one attention. For more information on how to reach your graduation goal, visit learnforlife.org. That's LEARN, the number 4, LIFE.org. Or enroll today by calling 877-360-LEARN. That's 877-360-LEARN.
KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM proudly announces our Inland Empire Ad Club's nomination of KCAA as Station of the Year for 2015. KCAA serving the greater San Bernardino Riverside area.
Kcaa.
Are you having any fun? What you getting out of living? What good is what you've got if you're not having any fun?
Woohoo! It's open season on KCAA. Open season with Larry Burnett, Fred Wallen, and Mark Mancini. 3 sports guys dropping gloves, tackling issues, and swinging for the fences. Now, here's your host, Larry Burnett.
Yes, it is open session on open season once again. I'm Mancini, the king of Blog Talk Radio, and Fred Wallen, Mr. Sports Byline himself. Welcome, everybody, to open season. This is where we talk sports the way real people talk sports, and tonight we'll be talking sports with Lakers legend Jerry West. Of course, he's now working with the NBA champion Golden State Warriors, but Jerry, well, he's a guy who's got great memories and a soft spot in his heart for his days in L.A. and the great Laker fans. He gets so choked up he can hardly talk about it. We'll hear from Jerry West a little bit later on. You'll enjoy the conversation. We're giving away Lakers tickets to the October 8th preseason game against Toronto, that game at Citizens Bank Arena in Ontario. All you have to do is be the first caller at 888-909-1050. That's 888-909-1050. Use that number as well if you'd like to be a part of our program. And yell and scream and complain or agree or disagree with us as we talk about topics throughout the afternoon. Open season being brought to you by John Elway's Crown Toyota in Ontario. They've got a comprehensive selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs, and their service department, well, it's just second to none. So stop by, say hello to our friends at John Elway's Crown Toyota. They are ready to help you. They're right there at 1201 Kettering Drive in Ontario, and be sure to tell them you heard all about them on open season. All right, let's talk about this week. Let's get right to the teletype. Joe Pagano, fire it up. Start out in baseball. The Dodgers clinch and get in a New York state of mind, while the Angels try to hang on to a wild card dream. Oh, my. And the Pinstripes are back in the postseason. To the NFL we go. No Big Ben and no Michael Victory for the Steelers. The winless Saints are just blowing in the breeze. And the Raiders are hunting for bear this week. The Dolphins, they're jetting off to London. And Cam Newton, he's getting mixed signals from a referee. In college ball, UCLA has a devil center. USC gets some extra time in the Husky department. And top-ranked Ohio State opens Big Ten play against the unbeaten Hoosiers. In college hoops, what can Brown do for SMU? He can get them sanctioned, that's what, but that's nothing new. To the NBA we go. Kobe and the Lakers are in Hawaii, and the Clippers open play tonight. And Steve Kerr is going back for the Warriors. In tennis, Serena is taking some time off, and Tony Stewart is hanging up his hubcaps on the NASCAR circuit. With just some of the stories making headlines on KCAA during the week, where our motto is, if it's news in the sports world, it's news to us. Fire it up, Joe Piano. That's love the teletype. Gotta love it. Let's talk baseball, first of all, with Fred and Mark. The Dodgers, they hadn't won a game all season up in San Francisco, but when they needed it, they got the win to clinch it with Kershaw. How are we feeling about the Dodgers heading towards postseason play, guys?
I think Kershaw with the one hitter, of course, a tremendous performance. But the bottom line is the trades that management made off season and in season have come back to haunt the Dodgers. I don't think Matt Latos is the answer. Obviously, he's with the Angels now. But the point I'm trying to make is you just can't make those kind of mistakes, except that you have $300 million to spend. So you're allowed to make those kind of mistakes. Last time we checked, Dee Gordon had more than 200 hits, with 50 still on bases. They don't have a leadoff man. The Dodgers do not. They're going to have a tough go with the Mets. Home field advantage, and I don't think it's as important in baseball as it is in football, basketball, or hockey. But Larry and Mark, I think it's important. So the Dodgers have 3 games. They have to end up 1 game ahead of the Mets to get home field advantage. I think that's important. But again, the third pitcher is going to be Brett Anderson. Yeah. And is he the answer? I mean,
he looked good yesterday.
With all the money. Well, okay, but with all the money, but my point is he's a 500 pitcher. So with all the money on earth, maybe you go after a David Price. They didn't. They go after a Laddell and an Alex Wood, and Fred believes that's a mistake. Mark, you agree, disagree? What do you think?
What are you thinking, Mark?
Well, let's face it. I mean, if you're a Dodgers fan,
Andy, hop
you're
in here.
watching this team.
Okay, we're missing Mark on the way.
Pins
Oh, there you are.
and needles, hoping either Kershaw or Greinke go 8 and 2/3 of an inning to even have a shot. Because if you're turning that ball over to anybody in the bullpen, you are on a dynamite kick, and you don't know if it's getting lit and ready to go off. Because I'll tell you, the Mets, nobody's really giving the Mets any credit here. The Mets have 6 guys that can throw at the Dodgers in a short series. Six starters. And, Terry Collins is an experienced guy. I mean, it's his first time in the playoffs, but he's an experienced manager. So, if they can figure out a way to get one game on Kershaw or Greinke, the Mets will take this series.
Well, I'm giving the Mets a lot of credit because I think they did a great job this year. I love their starting pitching. They're talking about Matz maybe not being ready to go for the playoffs, but they just plugged Bartolo Colon into that rotation, and he's had a great season for them. So I think when you look through the depth of the starting pitching, you have to give an advantage there to the Mets, but tough getting past Greinke and Kershaw for the Dodgers. Let's talk about the Angels. Looked like things were going so well for them until last night, and then they kind of blew up, and now they have no chance to win the Western Division, but they still have a chance at a wild card. And last time I checked, check again, they're not now leading Texas 1-0 in the fourth. They got Weaver on the mound tonight. Man, they're hanging on by their fingernails trying to get onto that wild card spot.
Larry, let me throw you this. Barry Zito started a couple of nights ago for Oakland, and he only started because Oakland was just trying to say goodbye in a nice way to a pitcher who in the past, of course, had been a top-notch pitcher,
right.
But at this point, his career is over. The Dodgers couldn't beat him a night that Zito started. The night that their number one pitcher for the Angels were going, they lose 8-7. How many times in history? Oh, forget history. Because I don't have the answer to this. Maybe Mark or Larry might. Or maybe somebody out there at 888-909-1050. How many times in the last 20 years has a team hit 5 home runs and lost the game?
Wow, that's a good question. That's a good question.
Not too many times, and I think it's because the right side of the infield is horribly defensively. They made 2 of the 4 errors in that loss, and the Angels have money, not $300 million, but they've got $150 million to spend or $160 million to spend. You got to have a defensive second baseman. If it wasn't Pujols, it was Cronin made the error at first base, but they don't have a defensive person at first base or second base. Disappointing because the Angels are good enough to make the playoffs, and as you indicated, it's a long shot right now, Larry.
Yeah, it is. They're hanging on, trying to get into that playoff spot. And right now, they're in a mix with the Twins, and it's the Astros in Texas trying to get. And it could, if the Texas Rangers lose their next 3 games to the Angels, and the Astros should win, they'd end up going into a 1-game playoff to try to figure this thing out, and the Angels, of course, would be left out in the cold. And how about this, guys? First time in 2 years, the Yankees back in postseason play. And I know I'm going to push a button here or two, but I'll tell you what, I'm kind of rooting for Alex Rodriguez. I like the way this guy has come back from all of his problems. He's hit 33 home runs. He's got 86 RBIs. I hope he's clean, but I like the way he's performed this year. I really do.
Well, and I like the Yankees. I said this before that Girardi should be the manager of the year for the simple fact that the Yankees have had nothing pretty much the whole year, a patchwork, offense with Teixeira going down and Rodriguez coming back with the whole steroid thing behind him now. So I like the Yankees' chances. I don't know how far they're going to go, but I think they can take out any wild card that comes in there, whether it's the Angels, who I think will have a fire sale at the end of their year. Houston is not strong enough. They're too young. Then when you look at Minnesota, let's not kid ourselves. The Twins will probably get it. And, everybody's going to have to pretty much go to New York. I like the Yankees' chances on any one of those wild card teams going in there.
And they're talking about having the young guy Severino start their first playoff game. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. All right, we're going to get to our first break here. Still to come in this program, I'll be talking with Lakers legend Jerry West. And up next, we're going to kick around NFL and college football when open season continues on KCAA AM 1050. Stick around.
Hi, I'm John Elway. Did you know that John Elway's Crown Toyota is the largest volume Toyota dealer in the Inland Empire? Here to give you the details is the General Sales Manager, Kara Brindley.
Well, John Elway's Crown Toyota, we listen to you. And ever since we've changed to our new process, we post our one price, which is our best price, up front on every single vehicle. Now, customers are telling me they look forward to buying their next car from us.
So come visit John Elway's Crown Toyota today in the Giant Ontario Auto Center where the 10 and 15 meet.
One price, simple, no games.
Ever wonder how celebrities get their skin red carpet ready? Look no further than the Fire and Ice Facial from Is Clinical, available at Nina MD Beverly Hills. The Fire and Ice Facial is an amazing clinical treatment designed to rapidly and safely regenerate the skin, reducing fine lines and wrinkles for an envious glow, while smoothing and softening to achieve that ageless face. Excellent for all skin types and ages, Is Clinical's Fire and Ice Facial is a celebrity favorite and provides dramatic results with no downtime, peeling, or side effects. The Fire and Ice Facial is normally $215, but call 310-777-7511 now. Mention this ad and pay only $179. That's over $35 in savings just by mentioning this ad. Don't miss out on glowing and radiant skin from Is Clinical and Nina MD Beverly Hills. For more info, visit ninamd.com or call 310-777-7511. That's 310-777-7511. Ever wonder how celebrities get their skin red carpet ready? Look no further than the Fire and Ice Facial from Is Clinical, available at Nina MD Beverly Hills. The Fire and Ice Facial is an amazing clinical treatment designed to rapidly and safely regenerate the skin, reducing fine lines and wrinkles for an envious glow, while smoothing and softening to achieve that ageless face. Excellent for all skin types and ages, Is Clinical's Fire and Ice Facial is a celebrity favorite and provides dramatic results with no downtime, peeling, or side effects. The Fire and Ice Facial is normally $215, but call 310-777-7511 now. Mention this ad and pay only $179. That's over $35 in savings just by mentioning this ad. Don't miss out on glowing and radiant skin from Is Clinical and Nina MD Beverly Hills. For more info, visit ninamd.com or call 310-777-7511. That's 310-777-7511.
Hi, I'm John Elway. Did you know that John Elway's Crown Toyota is the largest volume Toyota dealer in the Inland Empire? Here to give you the details is the General Sales Manager, Kara Brindley.
Well, John Elway's Crown Toyota, we listen to you. And ever since we've changed to our new process, we post our one price, which is our best price, up front on every single vehicle. Now, customers are telling me they look forward to buying their next car from us.
So come visit John Elway's Crown Toyota today in the Giant Ontario Auto Center where the 10 and 15 meet.
One price, simple, no games.
Kcaa.
Back once again on open season here on KCAA. Larry Burnett, Fred Wallen, and Mark Mancini. And you at 888-909-1050. And we are giving away a pair of Laker tickets to the October 8th preseason game against Toronto at Citizens Bank Arena in Ontario. First caller to call in gets it. By the way, we'd like to thank our friends at John Elway's Crown Toyota for being with us once again. If you're interested in advertising on our program, give a call to 888-909-1050. We'd be happy to talk with you about that. I'll be talking in just a little bit with Lakers legend Jerry West. Now, you know that this guy is now working in an executive capacity for the Golden State Warriors, but when I talked with him, I found out that he still has a real soft spot in his heart for his days in L.A. and the Laker fans.
It was just, just an incredible ride for me, to be honest with you. The way people have treated me in Los Angeles and embraced me, I'm forever grateful.
We will hear a lot more from Jerry West coming up. All right, let's talk NFL football here, guys. Last night, Baltimore got the win over Michael Vick and the Steelers. I couldn't believe the way that game went down the stretch where, Tomlin decided not to kick field goals. He decided not to give the ball to Le'Veon Bell when they needed a couple of yards. I don't know what they were thinking, but that turned out to be a big win for Baltimore. Fred, what'd you think?
I think a lot of money changed hands in Las Vegas because Baltimore was a 2.5-point favorite in that game. They win by 3 on the field goal. They should have lost it. There was no question about it. Michael Vick is Michael Vick. He's not going to ever be any better at this point. Was he 35 years of age? He didn't play horribly,
No,
but
he didn't.
But he missed a couple receivers. It changed the outcome. And Tomlin has a tendency to tighten up when the pressure's on. And the old saying is, you play not to lose, you'll end up losing. And they played not to lose. And listen, Scobie's been a very good field goal kicker for many years in this league. He missed 2, true. But I think you've got to give him the shot there. I don't think there's any question as far as at least my opinion is concerned.
Or give it to your best running back, Le'Veon Bell, and see if you can get a couple of yards. Mancini, what happened to your Steelers last night?
Well, let's put it this way. The Ravens came in 0-3. They were looking at 0-4. They're a dangerous squad. You know, luck of the ball, they could be easily 4-0. The Steelers missed Big Ben. It's a question when, you know, you don't have Ben there. You're doing it with Vic. Vic didn't play too bad, but the kicker, I don't know where, you know, this guy screwed up in New England in the first week. They're very leery about letting him kick. They're going to need a new kicker if they're going to do anything in this division. Their games are getting tougher as they go. What he did in Jacksonville is Jacksonville, but what he's doing in Pittsburgh, he's going backwards, and you can't do that. And they need to count on somebody, and they got to get a kicker in there. And this guy's cost them a couple games. They could easily be 4-0, the Steelers.
Well, it didn't cost them last night. Of course, he missed a couple early, but they were so afraid to use him. I mean, Scobie didn't.
For this game not to go into overtime.
Yeah, exactly.
But let me ask you guys a question. If you're a head coach, you got to feel for your players. If Scobie's a professional, a veteran professional, good field goal kicker, I think it's almost moral to give him another shot, because if you don't, you've given up on him. He knows it. They're going to be trying out people for the next week or so. I don't know. If I'm a head coach, I got to think of my players too. And it's not like he's a rookie. It's like he's made a lot of clutch field goals.
Well, they went out.
I got to give him an
because
opportunity.
He's good.
Yeah, I got to give him the opportunity. I'm sorry.
But listen, if I'm a coach and I've lost complete confidence in my kicker, you know, I'm getting rid of him this week and bringing somebody else in. True. If I can't kick a field goal from 40 or 50 yards out to win a game or force, you know, then I got to go somewhere else. Okay, we got the Pats, we got the Packers, the Bengals, the Broncos, the Panthers, the Cards, all still unbeaten. We got the Bears and the Saints still winless, and we got Cam Newton jawing away with Ed Hockley, the referee. That game with Carolina and the Saints last week, Cam Newton thought he got hit too hard in the end zone, and he said, the referee, Ed Hockley, said, "You're not old enough to get that call," meaning you're young in this league, you have to earn your respect or whatever. Guys, I've heard a bunch of different versions of this. Mark Mancini, what are you thinking about this whole situation with Hockley and Cam Newton?
I think it's misunderstood. I think it's, you know, what the referee said. I'm not buying, you know, what Cam Newton said that the referee said. Heat of the moment, you know, maybe he didn't hear it. I find it hard to believe a referee would tell a quarterback that you're too young to get this call. I mean, I don't know what the Panthers are looking at or looking for in this. Just, you know, take the high road. It's a little less traveled in this sport. That's the way I look at it. I mean, you know, to play any more into this than it already is, I mean, it turns into a drama center.
Well, let me give you my take on it. And I heard Mike Ferreira, the former NFL ref, on the radio the other day. He said there's no way that Hockley said what Newton is implying that he said. And when you look at it, you can see, trying to read lips, you can see that Hockley says you were running. In other words, saying you were not protected by quarterback rules because you were out of the pocket, you were running, and therefore you couldn't get the call. Now, if I've got a helmet on and there are thousands of people yelling and screaming, and Ed Hockley says to me, you're a runner and you can't get it, does that maybe sound in my headset as though he's saying you're too young to get that call? Too young, runner?
Possibly.
I mean, and you can see, you look at the tape, you see Hockley saying runner. You can obviously see that. So I think this thing just got completely blown out of proportion. And I can't imagine Hockley would say it. And let's move on. Fred, you got some NFL picks for us this week?
I like Philadelphia over Washington. I think the real Eagles showed up last week and the real Redskins showed up last week. End of story. Now, again, the weather factor, who knows? I mean, it could be drenched. It could be so rainy that they cancel the game.
Right.
I know that right at this point, they're going to play at 1 o'clock Eastern time, but who knows with the hurricane coming in. But I think Philadelphia is the better club. DeMarco Murray or no DeMarco Murray, and who knows at this point if he's going to even play in this game. But I think Philadelphia is the better team. I think they'll beat the Redskins. Philadelphia's a 3-point favorite. I do believe the Eagles showed up last week, and they'll still win their 10 or 11 games, and the Redskins will be lucky to win 5 or 6.
We've got the Dolphins and the Jets in London, and the Jets shipped over to UK 350 rolls of toilet paper to make sure that their guys didn't have any discomfort overseas. Going a little bit far, Mancini, what are you liking this weekend?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Getting back to that Redskin-Eagle game, I disagree with Fred on this one because I think the Redskins have a better quarterback in Kirk Cousins.
You disagree with the Wizard?
I think it's a safe bet, that the Redskins are a good team, and they screwed up against the Giants where they didn't capitalize. But I think going home, they've played the Eagles tough at home. I like Kirk Cousins over Sam Bradford any day of the week, and I think the Redskins win that game. The game that stands out at me, and I've been ridiculed on this, picking these guys to win a division. I like the Raiders to go into Chicago, a depleted team like the Bears, and improve their record to 3-1 and drop the Bears 0-4.
Well, we'll see what Jimmy Clausen does this week. He was a lot better at Oaks Christian than he's been in the pros. There's no question about that. Let's hop on to college football real quickly here. Number 7, UCLA hosting Arizona State. The Sun Devils they were just terrible last week. And, our guy Josh Rosen, he's hitting 62% of his passes for the season, and he's getting some help from the running game too. Fred, what's your look on this game?
Well, UCLA is given 13.5, and if you look under Sagarin, they should win by 19. But Fred's passing on that total. The total points, more interesting, I think. 57.5 last time I checked. I think probably it'll go over that because neither team can stop the other. Neither team is very good defensively. The Bruins have lost probably their 3 best defensive guys. And you saw what happened against Arizona last week. They get, 356 yards on the ground? And I just think that Arizona State will move the ball on UCLA. So barring turnover after turnover, I think it'll be a 40-30 game, something like that. The Bruins could cover, but I'm going to go over 57.5 in the game.
And we've got USC now 17th ranked in the country. They get the weekend off. They'll play a Thursday night game against Washington. I know you're just thrilled about that Thursday night game, Fred.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. And I mean it in all sincerity. Our listeners right now in Riverside and Loma Linda and San Bernardino, it's a 6 o'clock start, as Larry said, 6 days from now. Leave now. You'll get there in time. And it's all because the Pac-12, Larry Scott, has to make money. But, Eugene doesn't have as much traffic as Southern California. Tucson doesn't have as much traffic as Southern California. Play those guys Thursday or Friday at 6 o'clock local time, not in San Francisco, not in Phoenix, not in Los Angeles, and not in Seattle. Thank you very much.
Yeah, logistically, it's going to be a nightmare, no question about it. Madman, what are you thinking about the college football this weekend?
Well, I like the Alabama-Georgia game. That one stands out on me. And like you said, USC's not playing, so it won't be a national crisis in the country this week, whether they win or lose. But I like UCLA's chances to really keep moving forward. Moore's done a great job there. And there's a little secret going on in Michigan, and I know a lot of guys don't want to say this, but Harbaugh's doing some wonders, and watch out for Michigan because eventually Ohio State will be looking over their shoulder at Harbaugh in Michigan.
Well, number 1 Ohio State at Indiana, and the Hoosiers undefeated so far this season. And then you got another good game with number 6 Notre Dame going against Clemson. And I'm really looking forward to watching that Bama game against Georgia. And a lot of people talking about Texas and TCU. I don't think that's going to be a great game. I think TCU is going to win that fairly handily. Fred, you got some college picks for us?
Well, TCU is a 14.5 point favorite against Texas, and I agree with you. I think they're going to cover that 14.5 point spread. I think Texas this year, the last couple of years under Mac Brown, and now under second year under Charlie Strong, Longhorns just don't have the talent of some of the other schools in the Big 12. So I didn't do it. I didn't put it at phoenixsports.com, but if I was going to lean one way or the other, I would agree with you. I would give the 14.5 versus the take the 14.5 because I don't think Texas is very good.
Yeah, it's not the game that it's been in the past. And I have to tell you something, too. When Mac Brown went to ESPN, I didn't think he was that great at the beginning, but this guy has really become a superstar with them in the studio and on the games. He is on target. I really like his analysis of the games and the way he interjects, well, this is what I did when I was at Texas. And, if I get into a game and we had a blowout, I probably should have played some of my younger players and that kind of thing. I think he's really stepped up his game a lot, and he's become a real good contributor for ESPN. All right, open season being brought to you by John Elway's Crown Toyota on Kettering Drive in Ontario. Coming up, the Lakers and the Clippers, and my interview with Laker great Jerry West. He works for the Warriors now, and he says the NBA champs are looking pretty good right now.
This is a very capable franchise, and honestly, we have a chance to be better this year than we were last year. Will we win as many games? Probably not. But we do have a chance to be as good or better than last year.
Hi, I'm John Elway. Did you know that John Elway's Crown Toyota is the largest volume Toyota dealer in the Inland Empire? Here to give you the details is the General Sales Manager, Kara Brindley.
Well, at John Elway's Crown Toyota, we listen to you. And ever since we've changed to our new process, we post our one price, which is our best price, up front on every single vehicle. Now, customers are telling me they look forward to buying their next car from us.
So come visit John Elway's Crown Toyota today in the Giant Ontario Auto Center where the 10 and 15 meet.
One price, simple, no games.
Have you ever gone to use a flashlight and the batteries were dead or the inside of the flashlight corroded, only having to throw it away? Or in a location where you had no way to charge your cell phone or camera? Well, all that has changed. Now there's Hybrid Light. The Hybrid Light brings the best of both worlds together with a strong 160 lumen LED light that lasts 12 hours on a single charge, and after a recharge from any light or power source, you're ready to go again. Hybrid Light lasts 7 long years and is even waterproof, and also contains a USB port to plug in your cell phone or camera to give you that special charge when you're not near an outlet. All this for the low price of $39.95 with promo code GARY. Call 1-800-297-8109 to be the first to have this great tool, or go to our website, hybridlight.com. That's 800-297-8109 or hybridlight.com, hybridlight.com, and don't forget to use promo code GARY.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Welcome back, everybody, to Open Season here on KCAA. We are very excited to have with us Jerry West right now, the executive board member of the Golden State Warriors. You know him as a Lakers legend and Mr. Clutch and the logo, and, of course, the architect of so many of the Lakers Showtime championships. Jerry West joining us now from Northern California. Jerry, thanks for coming on Open Season. Really appreciate it.
Well, Larry, delighted to speak to you again.
It's been a while, but let's talk about this title of yours, Executive Board Member of the Golden State Warriors. It's a nice title, but what does it entail? What is your role now with the Warriors?
Well, obviously I'm involved with a lot of stuff up here, and I think it has to do with the basketball side of it. We got a very young front office up here, and I'm here for them to exchange ideas with me, give them my ideas, and try to talk about some of the things that I witnessed and experienced in my life, both as a player and as an executive. And I'm also on the executive board. I'm also a minority owner up here, which is fun to be involved in a lot of different ways. But I think at the end of the day, Larry, it's just me, part of my life. I've been a basketball person, a player. It has consumed my life, and it still does. And even at this age of my life, it's I'm thrilled to be involved with not only a great growing franchise, but really a very, very talented young team that still has a future, to be honest with you.
Oh, no question about it. We're talking with Jerry West. Is there any hands-on work that you're doing with the Warriors? I imagine right now you're going through training camp and evaluating some talent.
Well, it's really not so much evaluating talent because, we've got a really deep team already, and we've got a couple of young kids here that we're going to have to make a decision on. But, at the end of the day, this team it's a right kind of age. We have people that are, in their early 30s. We have a lot of people, 25 to 27, that play a lot for us. We've got, we think, a terrific future up here. And obviously last year was a magical year, special in the sense that we didn't have any, catastrophes along the way in terms of player injuries or anything. We had some, but they didn't devastate us like other teams have had in the past. But this is a very capable franchise, and honestly, we have a chance to be better this year than we were last year. Will we win as many games? Probably not. But we do have a chance to be as good or better than last year.
So let me ask you this question. How good was it to be a part of seeing the Golden State Warriors get back on top of the NBA again? And were you able to enjoy it? Because the stories from Laker days were that you weren't able to enjoy the success.
Well, I have a little bit I have a completely different role up here now, which helps me to enjoy the games a little bit more. But from my perspective, just to be involved with the people I have, our young staff, and to watch this team play last year, it was joy to watch because we played the game the right way. We don't have, we have passing, movement.
Yep.
We were the number one offensive team and the number one defensive team in the basketball. And I think that attests to the greatness of this team last year. Will we be able to duplicate this year? No one knows, and I think that's what's really funny. But in watching our training camp so far, you can see this wasn't like last year. Last year was a learning year because our coach, Steve Kerr, he interjected a lot of different things from an offensive standpoint and a defensive standpoint in our team. And it took him a while, but watching us practice here the 3 days I've watched so far, this team is much ahead of where we were a year ago.
Jerry, you know as well as anybody how difficult it is to repeat as a champion. What is the biggest obstacle in the way of any team trying to repeat as an NBA champ?
Well, first of all, I think there's health, okay? And then also I think the ability to go out there every night and lay it on the line every night. Some teams relax and rest on their laurels. I don't think this group will do that. We have some really highly competitive people, plus we're young. And those younger players I think are going to strive to get better. It will put us in a position, I think, to be another dangerous team in the playoff. But to say we'll win as many games we did a year ago, that would be hard to replicate. We won 67 games, never lost 3 games in a row, never had anything that would create more juicy items for the press to get involved with. And again, I attribute a lot of that to this incredible group of kids that we have. And I'm old enough to call them kids, but they're just wonderful young men who get along like I've never seen a team get along. And then secondly, our coach, he looks like he'd been coaching in the league for 20 years.
Yeah.
It looks like he never missed a beat. His demeanor has set a little bit different tone in our locker room, but success breeds success. And I think these people will love to win. And at the end of the day, I think that's why we'll be very, very good again if we can stay healthy.
It's interesting, too, the way puzzle parts fall in place. I mean, Steve Kerr was offered the Knicks job and decided not to take it.
boy, that what a bonanza that is for the Warriors. And then Steph Curry, who had so many problems with his ankles over the years, to come back and have the kind of season that he had was pretty much miraculous, wasn't it?
Well, as I say, he's gotten. I think he's finally gotten completely healthy. He's a remarkable smaller player. He doesn't play the game with force. He's a joy to watch. To be in our locker room, you wouldn't even know that he was the most valuable player in the league last year. He's got humility. He's what you see with him is what you get. That's what kind of person he is. And but again, having said that, Klay Thompson, the very same. He's the very same. And you look at him and you don't think these guys are competitive. They are really competitive. And then we've got one of the most underrated players in our team playing in the league, I think, in Draymond Green.
Yeah.
He's a tremendous player, not good, but tremendous. And everyone looks at him, he's 6'6.5" or something like that, but he plays a lot bigger. And his determination and his drive and his desire to win are second to anyone I've ever been with. And he's going to get better as a player, by the way. But we have just a lot of really good players here, and you can interchange, you can mismatch people. And I've said before a lot of times to people, what's the difference in this team than other teams you've watched play? Well, we can be behind 15 points and 5 times down the court because of these two guys in our backcourt. Yeah. We can be tied, Larry. And it's fun to watch them play because they like each other. I mean, you can see they like each other. No petty jealousies at all. And I attribute an awful lot of that to our front office. Bob Myers, who was an agent, Los Angeles, kind of bred in the sense that he went to school at UCLA, worked for Arn Tellem in the agency business. He stepped in here and has done a marvelous job. He's got our D-League team won the championship. And my son Johnny was deeply involved in that. And it's fun to see our ownership, which has given Bob and our coaching staff room to maneuver. Joe Lacob and Peter Gruber, who are our principal owners, have done a great job in letting the front office run the show for them. They're very aggressive owners in the terms that, we're trying to get a new arena built up here over in San Francisco, which will be the best one in the league. Trust me, with these people involved, it will be the best one. And a lot of positive things going here. So that can turn around real quickly unless you win. And I think we're all aware of that. And we're keeping our fingers crossed again that we can stay healthy. And these players who played so well last year, we think some of them can play a lot better this year.
Talking with Jerry West here on Open Season, and you mentioned your son Johnny, who's an assistant general manager for the Santa Cruz Warriors in the D-League. Your son Ryan just promoted by the Lakers to director of player personnel. My question to you, Jerry, is what have you told or taught your sons about the business?
Well, first of all, a work ethic is one of the most important things, and loyalty to a franchise that you're working with. But also, I think that the biggest thing for anyone who has aspirations to get involved in this, you have to be a basketball junkie, okay? I mean, it has to be, when the season's on, it's, 24/7. When the season's off, it's probably 24/6.
Yeah.
It's an all-year job now, and I think having the right kind of personnel, having draft picks is really important, and don't miss on those draft picks. I think that's one of the things that the Lakers haven't had many draft picks here in the last few years, and they're valuable in trying to rebuild a team. And I'm just hopeful that both of them understand how much I cared about the game, but I think how you treat people, the people you work with, you have to create an environment where it's fun, where people want to come to work. And at the end of the day, I think if you can do that and get the right people working for you in all areas, you have a chance to win and win big.
Jerry West is our guest here on Open Season, and I'm wondering if you've ever to teach Ryan and Johnny how to enjoy the job. Because I picked up your book, West by West, and what a title, My Charmed and Tormented Life. First of all, I hope they paid you a lot of money for that book, because I could not believe how you bared your soul in that book. Amazing to me.
Well, I think, Larry, when one of the things that I think when you get older, you do become so much more open about yourself, because I've never believed that the spotlight should be on me. I never have. I don't like it. I don't care for it. But I think somewhere along the way, when people see some of the idiosyncrasies that we all have, it was important to me to talk about the things that really affected my life, not only as an executive, but I think the way I feel about things. All lives are not equal, and we all don't grow up alike. But I learned a lot of lessons in my life by growing up in a tough household. But probably I learned a lot more about life and when it came to losing. And I'm not talking about basketball games. I'm talking about a lot of things in my life where you felt you lost. And, self-worth is a very, very important thing to have. And I always felt that maybe my self-worth was based upon my ability to play the game at a high level. And that still wasn't good enough for me sometimes. And I think when I look back on it, I say to myself, how fortunate I was to find something I absolutely love to do with my life, and to let people know who you really are. And at the end of the day, I was someone who loved the game, but I loved the competition more than anything. I despised losing, and I was a driven person, and I'm still driven today, Larry. To be honest with you, I love to compete. And even though I'm 77 years old, I don't feel like it, don't act like it, and I'm still competitive. And that's what still drives me today. And I think an awful lot of it was because of my childhood. Nothing was given to me in my life.
Right.
I had to learn everything. And I think when you feel that, I think somewhere along inside of you learn all these lessons. And I said I learned an awful lot by losing, and particularly losing when for our fans in Los Angeles and how great they were to us. It was just, just an incredible ride for me, to be honest with you. The way people have treated me in Los Angeles and embraced me, I'm forever grateful that, and I don't think the people really know how I felt about our fans and how they embraced not only me, but our franchise.
Jerry West, thanks so much for your time. I really appreciate you coming on Open Season. I wish you good luck. I hope you can enjoy the success that you're having up there in Golden State, and I hope we get to talk again sometime soon.
Well, great to talk to you, Larry.
Thanks so much.
And continued good luck. Bye-bye.
I really appreciate that. Jerry West with us here on Open Season. We'll take a quick time out and then back with more on KCAA AM 1050.
Hi, I'm John Elway. Did you know that John Elway's Crown Toyota is the largest volume Toyota dealer in the Inland Empire? Here to give you the details is the General Sales Manager, Kcaa Brindley.
Well, at John Elway's Crown Toyota, we listen to you. And ever since we've changed to our new process, we post our one price, which is our best price, up front on every single vehicle. Now, customers are telling me they look forward to buying their next car from us.
So come visit John Elway's Crown Toyota today in the Giant Ontario Auto Center where the 10 and 15 meet.
One price, simple, no games.
Have you ever gone to use a flashlight and the batteries were dead or the inside of the flashlight corroded, only having to throw it away? Or in a location where you had no way to charge your cell phone or camera? Well, all that has changed. Now there's Hybrid Light. The Hybrid Light brings the best of both worlds together with a strong 160 lumen LED light that lasts 12 hours on a single charge, and after a recharge from any light or power source, you're ready to go again. Hybrid Light lasts 7 long years and is even waterproof, and also contains a USB port to plug in your cell phone or camera to give you that special charge when you're not near an outlet. All this for the low price of $39.95 with promo code GARY. Call 1-800-297-8109 and be the first to have this great tool, or go to our website, hybridlight.com. That's 800-297-8109 or hybridlight.com, hybridlight.com, and don't forget to use promo code GARY.
9MD Beverly Hills provides skincare solutions for patients undergoing cancer treatments. Personalized treatment regimens are initiated to achieve optimum remission states in those dealing with cancer. The IS Clinical Harmony Cancer Care Facial at 9MD Beverly Hills safely offers hope and relief for those challenged with the side effects and repercussions of intense cancer treatments such as radiation and chemotherapy. Rejuvenate replenish, and soothe your skin. Let our certified technicians at Nina MD Beverly Hills safely and effectively heal your skin with our IS Clinical products that are pharmaceutical grade, botanically based, paraben free, and do not enter the bloodstream. Enjoy a day of pampering and revitalize your skin with Nina MD Beverly Hills and our IS Clinical Harmony Cancer Care Facial for just $179. Each patient will receive a complimentary gift bag for take-home care. For more information, please call 310-777-7511 or visit us at www.ninamd.com. That's www.ninamd.com.
Kcaa.
We're back in on Open Season on a Friday evening. Larry Burnett along with Fred Wallen and Mark Mancini. Open Season being brought to you by John Elway's Crown Toyota on Ketterling Drive in Ontario. We have a winner for our Lakers tickets. Scott from Ukaipa was the first to call in, and he will get the pair of tickets to the Lakers preseason game with Toronto October 8th at Citizens Bank Arena in Ontario. Even more exciting is that Scott was listening tonight on FM 106.5. So our program and KCAA not only available on AM 1050 now, but also on FM 106.5. So we're not only building a sports program here on KCAA, we are building a radio station that is becoming more powerful and more consistent and stronger as we go along. By the way, I have to tell you that I did tape the interview with Jerry West yesterday, and that was before it was announced that Steve Kerr was going to be taking a leave of absence because he had 2 back surgeries during the offseason, went into training camp and then just couldn't do it. And Luke Walton, our old friend from the Lakers, will be stepping in on an interim basis to be the head coach for the Warriors. This Jerry West is an interesting guy, Fred. If you get a chance to read his book, it's called West by West. And this man was tormented by depression and an addiction to winning. He talks about Phil Jackson in the book and how Phil had no respect for him. The good news is I was able to tape another 20 minutes with Jerry yesterday, and we'll be dropping those interviews in down the road as our show continues, and you'll be amazed at some of the things in here. But the guy's so competitive, Fred, he actually shot a 28 on the front 9 at Bel Air Country Club at one time, but he was so competitive and could never be happy with his accomplishments that he had like a running tab at the club repair shop because he was always throwing his clubs and breaking his clubs. He would just leave them on the doorstep, and they would know that they were Jerry's clubs and just keep fixing them. So the guy he's got a lot of different things going on. If you ever get a chance to read the book, it's called West by West. It's just fascinating. But interesting guy, and he sure had great success in L.A.
You know, he said that anything he's earned, he's worked for.
Right.
Let me just tell you something. I read an old either Dell Sports or one of those when he was a sophomore at West Virginia. First year, because freshmen weren't eligible at that time. He was not the number 1 rated sophomore coming in to the Mountaineers program. There was somebody else, I forgot his name. I read this 30 years ago, you know, and I'm trying, I bought an old Dell Sports. He was not the number 1 recruit. Well, after their freshman year, he was not the number 1 rated kid who supposedly supposed to help the varsity. He was the 2nd rated. So I find that really interesting, a guy going from the 2nd guy at West Virginia to a statue at the Staples Center.
Well, and he wanted to be drafted by the Knicks. He loved playing in Madison Square Garden, and there was a scenario where the Lakers almost let him go to the Celtics. We'll talk about that as time rolls along. Mark Mancini, jump in here. You and I were at Lakers Media Day on Monday. Of course, Kobe and the Lakers over in Hawaii right now. What was the vibe you got from the team as they get ready for preseason play?
Well, I like, Byron Scott, preaches, the defense. Got the chance to talk with Roy Hibbert, D'Angelo Russell, and these guys. I like it, that the attitude's different. They're ready for the start of the season. A lot of people got them up against the wall after 20 wins, 25 wins, 30 wins. But sometimes when you hear the negatives, you're trying to find positives. And I like this team. I really do. I'm not throwing something out there, but I really think injuries play a big part. So some of these top teams in the West, injury here and there. The Lakers could move up. I like the competitiveness of these guys. I like the Lakers 7th and 8th in the West. But getting back to Jerry West, what I learned from that interview is perseverance, determination, being hard on yourself, never giving up, looking forward. Same types Pat Riley had. I mean, I can see where the problems could arose with Phil Jackson, and Jerry West. But same type of molds, Pat Riley, Jerry West, guys that are just determined to take their team to that top every year.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something in that book. Jerry West says in that book that Pat Riley sent a letter to Jerry Buss one time while Pat was coaching, saying that he could coach and do Jerry's job too. It's in the book. It's in the book. And Jerry West at one time was ready to physically harm his father because of the way his father treated his family. You'd be amazed at some of the things in there. Fred, the Clippers open up preseason play tonight against Denver, and then they'll play Charlotte a couple of games in Beijing. You got the whole DeAndre Jordan thing out of the way during the offseason. What are we looking for from the Clippers this year?
I've been waiting 5 years now for Chris Paul to go a little further in the playoffs. So I have no answer. One of the best point guards in the game. But he doesn't go that far. And, of course, that 19-point debacle or 21-point debacle, whatever it was when they had Houston beaten, is still one of the great choke jobs in the history of pro basketball. I don't know how anybody could lose that one, but they did. I'd like to see them go a step further each time. You have to like Doc Rivers. I think the team has improved. I think their bench, even though as the article in today's one of the papers today said they're not very big on the second team, but they're good on the second team. I think that's going to matter. And I think they'll win their 50 to 53 games. And I don't know if I go as far as Mark as far as making the playoffs for the Lakers, but I think 21 wins last year. They could win 35, 37 games this year. And I don't think that would be too much of a stretch.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, when you talk about Chris Paul, he certainly has great talent. But I don't think he's going to be a great leader until he really takes charge of this basketball team, particularly in clutch situations, and gets them over the hump that they need to get over. Fred, I know you want to talk about Larry Brown. He's in trouble down at SMU, has got the probations and sanctions brought upon the university because of NCAA infractions. Not the first time for Mr. Brown, is it?
Look, when he took over at UCLA, a lot of us Bruin fans loved it. Obviously, his first year, they go to the national title game, up by 5 at halftime. They end up losing, of course, to Louisville. But 2 years later, he coached one more year after that. Then you find out that he cheated. Bruins Final Four it was not even mentioned. It's wiped out of the book. It's deleted. Then he goes to Kansas, puts them on probation, and now at SMU, and has put them on probation. What did SMU expect? I mean, he's a great coach. I mean,
he is.
He's a great coach, college and on the pro side. He knows the game as well as anybody. He learned from Dean Smith, but he's a cheater. I mean, you got to say he's a cheater, and I don't know why he's still allowed to coach at all, to tell you the truth. They only cut him 9 games, but the school's on probation. The kids can't go to the tournament, but he can still coach. There's something wrong there.
Well, and he says he had no knowledge of it, and in my mind, it goes back to Nixon and Watergate, which is worse. You didn't know what was going on under your administration, or you did and didn't know what to do about it. Mancini, what are your final thoughts here tonight?
Well, I kind of, Larry Brown, if you sign him anywhere and you give him a 5 or 3 year contract, in your back of your mind, you're not going to have him for that many years. He's going to leave. He's been in more hotels than some stewardesses. I've never been a big fan of Larry Brown. I really haven't. I just think he just depletes programs wherever he goes, or just depletes cities wherever he goes, and his word doesn't mean anything as far as staying, committing, and building programs. I mean, he's almost like a carpetbagger, if you ask me.
Well, I think he's a fantastic coach. He's just gotten himself into a lot of trouble. Hey, thanks, guys. Open Season brought to you by John Elway's Crown Toyota in Ontario. Our thanks to Jerry West. And be sure to tune in next Friday for Open Season. Until then, make sure you get out and have a little fun, okay?
Are you having any fun? What you getting out of living? What good is what you've got if you're not having any fun? Are you having any laugh? Are you getting any loving? If other people do, so can you have a little fun.
This is 1050 AM, KCAA Loma Linda, and 106.5 FM, Yucaipa.
Here's all you need to know. There's a new cool way to sell your unwanted stuff online. It's buysellmakeoffer.com. Buysellmakeoffer.com. You're not going to believe it. Join the legions of web sellers and buyers who are turning to buysellmakeoffer.com today. Never pay fees again. For low monthly membership of $7.95, you can sell up to 50 items, and there's a 60-day free trial membership to get you started. You can even produce your own infomercial to sell your products and upload the video for the world to see. Go right now to buysellmakeoffer.com.
It's time for some daily